Hey guys, this is Chris and Eric here at Star Wars Celebration in London, and we've just been to the Rogue One panel, haven't we, Eric?
We have indeed.
What have we?
People.
Yeah, what have we seen? We saw a teaser that you guys didn't see, so you guys might have been able to watch the live stream of the panel, but there's a teaser at the end. So let's kick off. What did we see in that?
I mean, let's talk about the money shot, of course, the final shot, which was Vader.
Yeah.
They still kind of hid him. It was a upside down, his reflection appearing in what looks like control panels of the Death Star. It looks like someone is being brought to see Vader, probably.
Yep.
And this is kind of the panning up. There's his reflection. Uh-oh, you're in trouble.
But before you see him, you hear the breath as well. You hear the breathing, and it's really cool. It's his reflection, his black reflection on kind of a red circle. Yeah. So it looks beautiful as well.
Yeah, it's that classic New Hope, like red computer screen panels.
Yep.
But Darth Vader upside down reflection of the silhouette. I mean, one of the most iconic silhouettes ever. So
yeah, it looked awesome. Yeah. And the teaser kicks off with a young Jin, like a kind of a 10-year-old Jin running through a field. Yeah. And then it cuts to Jin sort of grown up running through like a war-torn zone. And then I think the rest of the trailer, it was kind of quick cuts. It was hard to keep up with it all. You saw lots of fighting, lots of space battles, lots of aliens.
Lots of aliens, yeah, but you know, you guys have, I'm sure, watched at this point the behind the scenes footage that they did release. Between that and the sizzle reel / teaser they showed, it does feel like there are more aliens that at first it seemed like Rogue One was like all humans. Yeah. And maybe a couple droids. Now it's like, okay, no, there are aliens in this movie. It's more of the populated aliens that were expected in Star Wars. Yeah.
And the footage combined with that behind-the-scenes featurette that's now online, I thought some of it had a bit of a Saving Private Ryan vibe to the fight scenes, what we saw.
I will say, you know, they talked about the fact that they hired Gareth Edwards because of his sort of handheld approach, and you really got that. I mean, one shot that stuck out to me in the sizzle reel we saw was some rebel soldiers going through the like a forest. It looked out of a Nam movie, honestly. Yeah. There's like, you know, there's the World War II aesthetic, but there's also a Vietnam movie thing, and I think that is, again, what we're getting from this movie that's different for Star Wars, is like the in the trenches with these troops feeling. Cool.
So that was the teaser and the featurette, but what else did we see? When the cast came out, everyone talked about their characters. Was there anything that stood out for you that was kind of exciting?
You know, they talked about Riz, I keep forgetting
Riz Ahmed, yeah.
His character, I really was interested by the fact that they said that
Bodhi
is a pilot, but he's an Imperial pilot, but he's not an Imperial military pilot necessarily. We were joking before we started filming, it's kind of the Kevin Smith joke come to life in a Star Wars movie. Yeah. There are people who have jobs, and so far, even Finn was military and he left. Yeah. Now we're going to get more of the idea that people are just existing in this world, and sometimes you take a job for the Empire because that's just paying the bills. Yeah,
and you really get a sense that he's a pilot that's starting to question who he's working for. And they did kind of say that this is quite a disparate group. They're all different parts of the Rebel Alliance that come together. It kicks off with just Jin and, who is the other character? Cassian, Diego Luna's character. They said it's kicking off with the two of them together, and then slowly but surely the team grows from there.
Yeah, and they also talked about how Jin, you know, is not in the style of Luke, you know, or Rey, in that she is not sort of a young, like, what is my life supposed to be person. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get glimpses of her as a kid based on that footage. But that it's, you know, she is a fully formed person. I mean, she's sort of the Han Solo approach of this smuggler. I don't know if she's a smuggler, but a criminal who, you know, is out there living her life until this all kind of falls in her lap.
And where she comes from, she said, propels the story. Like, we know exactly who this person is. Mm-hmm. And she also has a Han Solo-inspired gun belt, she said, which is kind of cool. I thought, character-wise, the two biggest things that I took away from it were her father, who's played by Mads Mikkelsen, Galen. He said that his character, lots of things revolve around him. He's a scientist, and he invented something so beautiful and fantastic that it might change the universe, which was a really interesting tease.
They're being very coy with this character. I mean, okay, they actually showed us an image of him during the panel, which you might have seen if you watched the live stream. So we saw him, he's just a human. It's not like they put some prosthetic or some alien thing on him, which we'd expect, because that's his daughter. Yeah. But, you know, it seems like the thing that we're all kind of guessing is that he is one of, if not the inventor of the Death Star, or played a role in it. Yeah. But they're still playing very close to the vest. So it's like, who is his character and what did he intend? If that's true, if he helped invent the Death Star, was it because he was sadistic, or was it something that kind of spiraled out of control?
Is it Oppenheimer, Robert Oppenheimer? Right, he's like the Oppenheimer of the Star Wars universe.
And will they kind of work him into even like the Attack of the Clones history of like Dooku and Geonosis and where these plans come from?
Yeah. And then Alan Tudyk talked about the droid that he's playing. So we got the name, it's K2SO. Yeah. And also we learned that he's an Imperial droid that has had his brain wiped, his memory wiped, and he's been reprogrammed by the rebellion. But it's not gone quite according to plan. So they're saying that he's a bit confused. He says exactly what he thinks, and he's kind of like an old person.
Yeah, he's kind of like a jerk. I mean, even they played some footage without the audio on it as they talked over it, where she hands him a bag and he just drops it on the beach, and it's almost like, yeah, screw you.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like he's not actively working for the Empire, but he still doesn't like them.
Yeah, because it's everything we've seen looks really heavy and serious, but I think he's going to be the comic relief, isn't he, in the movie?
Too. That's what droids are for.
Yeah, and we saw the planet Scarif. We found out that kind of lush planet, they called it a paradise planet where some of the action's going to happen. They shot it in the Maldives. That's called Scarif. Anything else we learned? Like there were names all over the place.
On a local subway station. I thought that was pretty
Canary
fun.
Wharf. Yeah, we had funny pictures of stormtroopers with their helmets off, just sitting at Canary Wharf Tube, which was kind of funny.
Every time people are waiting at that tube station, they get to think stormtroopers were here. Real stormtroopers were here.
But yeah, anything else big, or do you think those are the main stories?
I think those are the main things that stand out. I mean, you know, they still are hiding a lot as far as, you know, they gave us that little Vader tease, but, you know, as far as Galen, as far as Vader, some of these characters, and we got a little, you know, look at Ben Mendelsohn's character, but they talked about the fact that he'll be a different kind of villain.
Yeah.
And he appeared in costume in the theater with us.
Yeah, kind of cheesy.
But I am still waiting for, you know, because this wasn't the full trailer yet. You know, it was still cool to see this new footage, but they're still going to give us a new trailer. I'm guessing not too distant future.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Right, now we're going to go and check out those props back there.
Lots of cool stuff.
But there'll be a full write-up of that panel on the site very soon, and keep it right on IGN because we're going to be here all weekend covering Star Wars Celebration.
And of course, be with you.